This is Dr. Steve Nielsen. I'd like to show you a case today that pretty much describes why I enjoy CEREC and the opportunities that it gives me. This is a case of a patient who was traveling quite a distance to get to a seminar, about 400 miles, and halfway in between she had a little problem when she had lunch and she broke a tooth off. So I'd like to describe the kind of thing that happened. Here she is. This is how it looks as she presents, and she's worried about what she can do until she can get back and have something more permanent done. She was referred to me from one of my patients who has had a CEREC crown done, and he said that I could probably fix it in the same day. So she's beginning to wonder, can we possibly do this and just put it back on? So we obliged and just set it right back on there, and not telling her that that's just desiccated and some color will come back. But she thought that was pretty ugly, and she didn't want to be seen looking like that. But we felt that that might be a good thing to use. Maybe we should do this as a biocopy case and use that shape and form to create the crown and make the restoration look as close to natural as possible. As we were looking a little closer at the case, we realized that the other central had some issues as well. As you can see on the inside here, the other central is cracked about the same height as the first one that broke, plus with some mesial decay. This is an issue that is likely going to end up the same as the first central. So we recommended that we do both of them together and that we could copy the shape and form as close as possible to what she already had, so it wouldn't be a big change. I decided to prep the broken off central just around the margins down the facial to the tissue, and the other central tried to prep the lingual margin at the crack. And you can kind of see how the crack actually travels up a little more incisal, as you can still see it in the side of the tooth. But I've tried to preserve as much lingual cingulum as possible to give the tooth some strength and give me something to bond to. So I think I'll switch over to the case on the CEREC unit. And you can see this is a Bluecam case. And as we look a little closer, the broken one is pretty flat there on top, only a couple of millimeters of wall on the facial and the lingual. Got a little more length on the other incisor because it wasn't broken off so bad. But that's pretty small preps, pretty short teeth that we have to bond to. However, with the bonding capabilities we have now, I felt confident that this would be fine. Getting into the design process, getting it milled and polished, this is what it looked like. We first tried it in and she couldn't believe it. It looked so great. But I felt like I need to fire this, and I'd like to paint some little crack lines in it, perhaps, to match the other teeth. I could do that with a vanilla color, and I think that would look very nice. But she absolutely refused. She did not want any more color on it. She did not want any change to it, but let's accept it the way it is. So this is the actual post-cementation picture immediately after the cementation of the crowns. As we go back and look at the comparison of the before and after, they look pretty close to what they were. She was delighted, and this was a great case to have to work into the schedule. Productivity was up, of course. Add a couple of crowns there to our schedule, and payment. She paid in full for the services, and we love that too. But probably better than the payment and the increase in production was the way she felt about it and the way it made me feel about it. I sent these photos to her in an email, and she replied back, and this is what she said. We made it back to Moscow, Idaho, safely, and I am smiling again, thanks to you. I continue to be pleased with your expert work and marvel at the circumstances that guided us to your office, and that you were available to help me. Thank you so much. Those are the kind of things that make you think this is really worth it, and this is worth the while to invest in this type of technology that I can provide.